Thank you for watching my first video if you did, for coming and looking at this video also. In the first video, I believe I talked about how big my stomach got in 2011 and I looked like I was 9 months pregnant. I am giving you a quick view of how I look now and a very short discussion about it because this is very embarrassing. So here we go. See, this is my sternum way up here. I can't find my rib cage because everything is pushed outward so far. All the pressure is here in my upper abdomen and in my chest cavity. I can feel my lungs, my ribs. What am I talking about? I can feel my liver, my stomach, and my pancreas sitting out here. And when I walk, I can feel my ovaries and my uterus down here. They bounce back and forth. When I do this, I can feel them bouncing around. I can't bend forward because the pressure increases here. And if there's too much pressure down here, I can feel something being squished. I believe the kidneys are supposed to be down here. Well, I can feel them up here bouncing around when I walk. I can't put any pressure here, or I get instantly nauseous. I can't pull pants up over top of it because it's so big and the pressure bothers me. I can't put any pressure on my sides because I can feel my lungs here, and when I put too much pressure on it, I can't breathe. When I walk, this part here bounces up and down really bad, so I have to always have a coat on to cover it up so nobody can see it because it's very embarrassing. So that's kind of a look of how I look. Now, I don't like to talk about my weight, but my organs shouldn't push forward if I'm just 152 pounds. Like, even if I was bigger, my organs shouldn't push forward. Something is causing them to push my organs forward, like I said. And I think it's got to do with the herniated discs. Also, all of this part of my abdomen and stomach, the skin is rock hard, like I can't put any pressure on it. But down here it's more jiggly. And this is where all the pressure is from the organs being pushed forward. And it's been this big since 2011. When I eat and fill up my stomach and it expands, the pressure gets worse. And then as the food digests, I can feel the pressure decreasing. It's not pretty. When I finally got desperate, stress of not knowing that I'm never ever going to get help, I thought, I just sat down one night on the computer and looked up lawyers in my area again. One that said they still had medical malpractice. And I talked to the person on the lawyer chat on the website. And they called me back the next day. They told me that it's not medical malpractice if a surgeon doesn't want to see you. So in other words, if you have a medical condition that they don't want to do, they don't have to see you. When I heard that, I was devastated. Like, it verified, it pretty much told me that I was never going to get medical help. That is why I am making these videos. 2016, I had x-rays done. On the first x-ray, you can see the outline of the rib cage is very clear, very sharp and distinct. There is nothing obstructing the shape of the rib cage. Now, if you look at the x-ray from 2017, you can see a billowing white around the rib cage, and underneath, the shape of the rib cage has changed. I can feel that change, my lungs wrapping around my rib cage at the bottom. And when I say I can't breathe on the sides, when I put pressure here, is because my lungs are now sitting right there. This injury medical condition so rare that there isn't even documentation that this could happen if you have a thoracic spine disc herniation. I've looked up and read so many different articles and information about it from different sources, but it shows nothing about what I'm suffering. I only have that one medical condition, the herniated disc. I'm not on any medication. I don't take pain pills. But something is causing my lungs and my organs to push forward. And the only thing I can come up with and how I feel in my body is the disc herniation and the disc calcium that is growing in my spine. Now I can feel this disc calcium when I try and twist my body this way. I can feel it rubbing back and forth on my organs, on my lungs. I was making chicken wings with my son one night, and I was shaking a bowl of chicken wings and sauce and really fast back and forth, and all of a sudden I could feel something large swinging back and forth in my chest. The only thing I could think of that was that big and that I could feel it would be my heart. Given that if this calcium had pushed against my main artery or any veins going to my heart, I would have been dead 4 years ago. 3 to 4 years ago. They don't even want to look into it for me. This next x-ray is a side view chest x-ray, and there is something protruding in the center of my chest. I've looked it up on different x-rays on the internet and it doesn't show it anywhere. I believe it's disc calcium and it's growing off my 2T, 3T. Thoracic spine. Doctors don't have to see me, and meaning they don't have to help me. I had to walk away from my job, and I was not able to get my long-term disability that would have been for 3 years. My retirement money is almost gone, and I am going to be homeless real soon. My last doctor, I had gone to her, I'd say about 7, 8 times, trying to get across that something was wrong in the thoracic spine, and because they ignored everything I said, the pressure on them against my rib cage is continuing. Like I can feel it from the top of my rib cage here down. When she told me that I was going to see a thoracic surgeon, I got all excited and I thought, wow, a thoracic surgeon, I said, well, maybe I can talk to him about my spine issues. And she told me, no, he's not going to talk to you about your spine issues. And I did bring it up to him. I told him that I could feel pins and needles up to my forehead, and I could tell when I said things that his body language, he knew what I was talking about and knew that I was never going to get medical help. I'm jumping around on my information and how I'm talking and telling this, but it's really hard to come up with, think of the stuff you want to say off the top of your head. Reading all the information I've been able to get my hands on about herniated discs in the thoracic spine and their symptoms and what it causes, they all say that thoracic spine disc herniation is something that rarely happens. And the herniation is by the bone, outside on the spine. Around the bone, it is very painful. I believe my disc herniation is anterior because I don't have that kind of pain. I don't have any of that pain in my spine, and I never have. It's just the pressure in my chest that against my rib cage that is making this really difficult to suffer. I do my job of caring for the elderly. My hope is that I'll someday I'll be able to hold my grandbabies again. because my abdomen is so big and my arms are weak, I can't hold them. Emotional stress for the past 4 years of trying to get medical help only to find out I'm never going to. Having to walk away from my job, a job I love doing. On the verge of being homeless, the emotional stress. I'm terrified of being homeless. One thing that's very hard for me and I'm not comfortable with doing is asking people for help. But I'm going today to ask people to help me raise the funds and hopefully get surgery. I've opened a GoFundMe account, and I would be forever eternally grateful if people could help me. I thank you for watching my videos. Subscribe and I will do updates to tell you how I'm doing as time goes on. So you all take care. Thank you. Bye.